I've built lots of Gunplas, but this is something else. The Megami Device Susanowo Guren is a different kind of model kit. Stick around to see how this Gunpla build survived this first Girlpla adventure, from casual clothes to full battle mode. The box is massive, the same size as the Master Grade Extreme Strike Freedom, and it's packed with runners, 30 to be precise. The manual is pretty good. It shows the figure in casual attire or fully suited up, with some nice posing. The instructions are strictly in Japanese only, but if you have already built some Gunplas, it won't show anything hard to understand by the figures only. It also comes with the water slide decals and a stand, with adapters for both the casual attire version and the armored up one. Are you listening, Bandai? Can we make this a standard for real grades and master grades, please? I want to start now from the head. The details here are beautiful. Look at the sculpting on the face and the hair. The kit comes with 3 different faces, and it should be pretty easy to swap them. Let's remove the front hair, and voila! It is fast indeed. I just wish they would have included a face with a more angry battle expression. To be fair, there are water decals to make your custom head, but no blank faces. Those needs to be purchased on the side. Let's start now with the base figure. The Susanowo Guren comes with a casual clothes option, which is something you don't see in Gunplas. And this is everything that will make our base model, with plenty of hands, both for weapons and posing. Let's put it together and check it out. The posability is pretty good. The head has a double joint, and the shoulder can come forward, granting a great range of torsion. The leg joint has an interesting mechanism. You can extract it, and this allows more freedom in turning it around. Unfortunately, the feet can't move sideways. This is slightly disappointing, to be honest. It's been a fun experience to pose this model, even if it took me some time to get used to the fact that it's not a giant mecha, but more on that later. Let's now take a look at the juicy part, the armored up version. Firstly, we build new legs and arms that will work as a base for the rest. Swapping them is very easy and takes no more than a couple of minutes. It looks pretty basic, but we have way more stuff to cover it up. And these are the model's armor parts. And don't think that's all of it, I still have half of the manual to go through. We have a second head and a second pair of chest, that for some reason has a bigger cleavage. Maybe to distract the enemy during the fight? Perhaps it is better not to try to find a sense on it and just accept it. I really like how the model is now coming together. It's already looking way more interesting, and the clear plastic gives a nice flaming effect. To be honest, the flames on the feet look a bit too much, but they hide a nice gimmick that I'll show you later. Time to build all the rest of the accessories. This is the flaming sword, and I absolutely love it. It has also a couple of really cool features. First of all, if you plate it like this, it just won't stay. It's too heavy for the wrist to keep it up. There is a quick solution, which is this little piece. It fixes the sword on the bracer and solves the problem. Now you can move it around without too many worries. Maybe not the most elegant solution, but it works. Now I want to show you something really cool. The sword has 3 independent joints that can be loosened up very easily. This allows the sword to become a kind of whip, and that's not all. You can then separate the first part, which becomes a small axe, and add a second hilt to the rest, making it a smaller whip. And now the Susanowo can dual wield. I absolutely love how you can switch parts around and change how the kit looks like. And you'll see how the sword is not the only example. Okay, time to finish the build with the last pieces. We have these cool floating shoulder pads that you can attach to a small flexible backpack. The backpack has 3 different joints, allowing the shoulders to be adjusted freely. And now time for what my translator calls the gravity control unit. I would have never guessed it by myself. We can also store the 2 little swords on the back of it. So, this is the Susanowo Guren in full armor. But don't think that's all. As I mentioned, one of the perks of this kit is how easy it is to swap parts around. Let's see some examples. We can remove these flaming wings from the gravity control unit and attach them to the floating shoulder pads, which improves the kit in my opinion. Remember when I mentioned that the flames on the heels were a bit too much and they're a bit in the way of opposing the legs? Well, you can turn them upside down and fold them to be in front of the feet, and this solves any issue. And we're not finished. Let's strip our model now. First, we can swap the bangs with a second pair that includes a mask. And remember the shoulder pads? We can attach them to the arms and now we have a couple of oversized power gloves. The gravity control unit can be split. Finally, the sword can be attached in the back, and now we have a kind of scorpion tail. I don't know about you, but I wasn't expecting this level of versatility when I started this kit. I would like, before giving you my final thoughts, to mention a couple of things about the building process. As much as this is not a hard kit to assemble, it has a huge flow that needs to be told. We have 30 runners, full of pieces so small that look like they came out of a real grade. And I honestly counted 6 pieces in total that were undergated. The knobs are everywhere, and in completely visible positions. I spent hours sanding and polishing every single piece. It took me 3 times more than expected to finish the Susanowo because of this. On the other side, it makes me really appreciate the level of quality of Bandai kits, especially the last ones. Then I need to give you a really important tip, and I don't want to get the credit for this. A big shout out to the subreddit r/Megami Device. The guys there were very welcoming and especially helpful. If you're curious about Girlplas and would like to know more, that's a great place to start. Back to the tip. These kits don't use polycaps for the joints, so they are usually really tight and easy to snap. The absolute majority of suggestions I got mentioned to test the joints, and if they feel too tight, give it a light sanding. It really helped. So, how was this kit and how does it compare to a Gunpla? Well, it is a different experience for sure. One of the things I love the most about Gunpla is the building experience and the level of engineering in the models. Here the building has been a bit tedious because of the knobs positioning and in the end not mind-blowing. I also really like to customize my kits, scribing, panel lining, painting and more. Maybe it's because I'm in unexplored waters, but I don't think I can use my usual techniques here. I will repaint the gold parts, because I don't like the way they look now, but for the rest I don't feel it needs much work, it looks stunning as it is. Where this Girlpla shines is the posing. Remember when I said that I had trouble realizing this is not a giant mecha? In the beginning I took this model in the wrong way, replicating the poses I knew, but it didn't work. This is not meant to be a weapon of mass destruction that unleashes terror and despair on the enemies on the battlefield like a Satabi. This is supposed to be kawaii. That's why the angry battle face is not included. All the hands, faces and joints are there to make it look pretty, and it gets the job done. I was amazed how much it can be personalized swapping parts around. I also think it's probably great for kit bashing and more. So, should you get one? I think so. It's a breath of fresh air after so many Gunpla. A different experience that I will probably repeat here and there. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, don't forget to drop a like and maybe consider subscribing for more content. Thanks for watching and see you soon.